got no sense. Hey, you guys. Welcome to another episode of Aggressive Beauty Podcast, where beauty is pain and so is the truth. I have my main thing on the call with me, Tate.
Hello.
With them titties out. Let me stop. But yeah, you guys, this is going to be the second season, Aggressive Beauty Podcast. I do apologize. I've been MIA. I've been going through shit. We all go through shit. It is what it is. So
you back better than ever.
Back. You hear me? They can't hold you there. They can't hold you back. You know, you can't be going for that bullshit. So yeah. But anyway, so we are actually going to do the complete season together, best friend. And we are going to be
so humbled with this request. I was like, oh, you had so many guests last season. You decided to pair up with me for a whole season. Little old me.
It's all this healthy conversation that we have, you know, and I feel like it's so important for everybody else to hear the shit that we talk about. It's very entertaining. Yeah. So, you know, without further ado, here we
I just want to address one thing really quickly, because now that we're going to be on video, I understand that my background is wrinkled, but I just want y'all to understand what my friend told me. She told me at the very last minute that she had a background, a little backdrop. And I was like, oh, you know, my wall is painted a solid color. That should be enough. And then she showed me and I was like, oh, she's professional. Like
I'm not playing.
I said, it looks so good. I was like, I got to put something up in the background. So these are just silky sheets that I own.
Now, but guess what? You cute though. Like, you got this little sexy vibe. You know what I'm saying?
Listen. The TLC red light special.
Hey, you know what I'm saying? You want to feel on them a little bit.
Listen. You know? But hey, on the next taping, I'm gonna have my backdrop. Amazon coming through for you, girl. Okay. For today, y'all got the silky sheets.
Hey, I don't know about them drivers, but Amazon will come through. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Hey. But I appreciate you, friend. I really do. I appreciate you coming on. I appreciate you holding it down. You know you bro. You know you weakness. But so this season we have decided to talk about relations and relationships. There is just so much that comes with both of those things, maintaining both of those things. I mean, even if you're just wanting to fuck with somebody, you know what I'm saying? Like, you have to have some type of communication, some type of consistency, unless you just fucking with people that go for whatever. But you know, we're gonna just address it all, because this season we ain't showing no mercy. And it's never gonna be on one side, it's spiteful or anything. You know, we have a lot of people that end up in situations, come out bitter. You know, from experience, we know how they come out. And I think everybody has experienced that. But, you know, we just gonna go ahead and cover some shit that maybe just so they can think about it, you know, because people don't be thinking. They don't even think. Ain't that the truth? What's up with that, Jazz? They don't even be thinking no more.
No more. Did they ever think?
Break that shit down. Understand, but sometimes
I love what a nigga say. But I thought, and I'd be like, that's your problem, nigga. There you go thinking again. There you go thinking. Don't know how to do
it. It ain't right. We're going to help you, though. We're going to help you. But anyway. Oh, and major disclaimer. If you are a person that does not like profanity, sexual content, all of that, you want to shut this down like now. Okay? We cuss like a motherfucker on here. Okay? Don't get offended. We just be shooting the shit. This is just how we gonna give you some raw shit. So we just be shooting the shit. So, hey, it is what it is. You gonna hear that real. This is not a game. This is not a test. But yeah. So one of the main things that we seem to run across is, what do you bring to the table? And don't do that. And it's crazy because, I mean, men ask it, women are starting to ask it. I'm not quite sure the answer men are expecting. I feel like with women, it is going to be something financial. I feel like with women, it's more financial, and then men maybe they need that emotional support. They just don't have that shit. So,
that way?
huh?
I said, what make you feel that way?
I would say because a lot of men hold shit in, and they don't have somebody to confide in. They just hold that shit in. So I would hope that instead of looking on surface level, because we hear that bullshit surface level, which is, oh, what do you provide? You're cooking, you got some good head, some good pussy. Okay, what else? Alfredo and dinners. What else? You know what I'm saying? They try to be funny, like that shit don't mean nothing. But when a nigga go without that shit, you looking chaotic. But all right, you know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So I often wonder, like, well, those things don't mean anything. What about your peace? Does that mean anything to you? You know what I mean? Your comfort zone. Are you able to be vulnerable? You know, things like that. What do you think that they're looking for when they ask that question?
I think I've had this conversation with niggas before, and not because they've asked me necessarily, but because it's just like, what is it that you're looking for in general? Because I think there's a difference between people having expectations and standards, and getting to know you along the way, as far as like, okay, I already know what I want. And so I want to make sure naturally getting to know you that you meet those qualifications, right? I think somebody who comes right out the gate and is just like, okay, you know, what do you have to bring to the table? And it's like, pipe down for a second here. Like, I don't have to prove anything to you. Like, obviously you already saw something that I had at my table, which is why you're talking to me in the first place, right?
Well, so I feel like the initial coming to you in the first place is based off of physical attraction, though.
Right. And so then the rest of the conversation, if you can't tell though by somebody's conversation, like if they're worth the time to get to know moving forward, then that's problematic on you too. Like, you shouldn't have to have somebody's resume essentially to be like, oh, this person is worth my time. Like, the person asking that question needs to take some accountability as well, as far as how they get to know somebody. But to your original point about what are they looking for, I think a lot of men are looking for, and when I say men, I'm thinking about like cis heterosexual men, are looking for quote unquote peace, and are looking for somebody to build with. Like, so what's your mindset like? So I think when they say, I'm not just looking for some pussy and somebody to cook and clean or whatever, I think it's because at a certain point, it's like that shit is fun, and that was what people were looking for initially. And then they start realizing that that's not enough, or they're wanting more. So it's like that, and what else, right? It's like,
it's almost like when you ask them, they're trying to like just be an asshole about it. You know what I'm saying? As far as like, oh, you just Alfredo and pussy, like what else? Like you
I think it's an
asshole. If you don't know,
it's an asshole type of nigga that would ask somebody, well, what do you bring to the table?
Let's do that then. Why are we even asking that? Like, I mean, we kind of know, you know, we kind of know as far as like what you're even looking for. I feel like men try to kind of be a smart ass or whatever and be like I was saying, yeah. But because I don't hear the peace, I don't hear companionship, I don't hear building, you know, because in their mind, they're thinking, well, I'm just here to just pay the bills, and I got to do this, and you know what you gonna do, what you gonna pay, what you gonna, you know.
I don't like to assume what a nigga is thinking, right? But I also know the financial piece isn't always, from my understanding, from my experience, isn't always that point either, right? So I don't think they're looking for somebody who's also going to pay the bill. I think the rebuttal would be, I'm not looking to take care of you. Like, don't try to be a stay-at-home wife. Like, don't try to, break me down for Birkins or for trips or whatever the case may be.
Got you.
So I think they should try to avoid that. But that's what I'm saying. Like, to ask that question though is a very small-minded person. Like, if you don't know how to ask other questions as far as trying to get to know somebody or maneuvering in that way, if you have to lay it on the table where, again, that they are trying to prove to you or show you a resume, then I think that's a certain type of nigga. It's never a nigga that I would be with, never a nigga that I would fuck with. I wish somebody would ask me some stupid shit like that. It's like, nigga, I invited you to my party. Right. And we had that conversation about, about how I, make that analogy, right? It's like, I don't ask niggas what you bring to the table. Like we're getting to know each other, and I can tell you where you fit into my life based on what I see that you have, or how we engage. Like I place you where you need to go. But outside of that, it's like, yeah, I'm never gonna be like, what do you bring to the table?
And let's do that vice versa. We're not trying to be hard to be like, okay, I place you here to, but like men should be doing the same thing. Like you should be looking at a woman and observe the way that she moves, the way that she talks, priorities, how she treats other people, things like that, how she treats you. And then once you realize
that's what it is, it's a lazy way to go about getting to know somebody or observing things. So it's like, you don't want to take the time out to engage. I understand, time is money. People don't want to waste their time, but it's still not the way to engage with somebody. You don't ask stupid questions like that, because then you won't get a stupid answer.
So has anybody ever asked you that?
No.
I feel like I have been maybe a dating website or something, and somebody said that stupid shit to me. And this was before bringing anything to the table was a huge topic. And I was like, damn, hey, how you doing? My favorite color, purple. Like,
that's how they approached you? So y'all hadn't even been conversing?
No. And it's so funny because you have expressed to me that people don't come at you sideways. But girl,
on dating apps,
there's so many motherfuckers out here that come at you sideways, like ridiculous. And I just be like,
and I believe it. We got mutual friends and whatnot, and I listen to the stories and I'll be like, that don't make sense.
They let you do that? They let you say that? You did that?
Wild. And in my head, I'm like, and obviously the niggas are to blame, whoever is saying it, right? But I'm like, for you to be approaching people in this way, somebody had to let it slide.
That's the thing. That is the thing. That is the thing. Because somebody did tell me, when people come at you a certain type of way, that shit worked with somebody. That's why they thought they could do it.
Right.
And I be trying not to like be a bitch about it, but like, I'm gonna nip it in the bud when I first hear it. Like, what the fuck is this? Who you talking to?
Girl, drawing a line is not being a bitch. That's just putting your standards and your expectations.
And I try to let that initial conversation, I do let a little thing slide, because I'd be like, what was that about? But then like it's done a few times and you're like, I'm seeing what type of person you are right now. Like, you cannot sit at my table acting like this, sir.
No. But I told you before, girl, I was like, no, that initial conversation, I'm not letting shit slide, because at that point, I'm like, oh, this is your best foot forward. Like, you just put your best foot forward and that was it. I'm straight on that, because it's only going downhill from here, baby.
I didn't think
this was supposed to be your effort. This was supposed to be your effort.
You were supposed to make a good impression.
Bitch, I don't even respond back to niggas online who just say, hey. Like, when they just say, hey, and I'm like, you see all this shit, I've put effort into my profile and you couldn't find nothing to respond to. There's no point. You already telling me the type of effort or lack thereof that you put into anything. What the fuck are we doing?
Yeah. I've had some trash ass conversations in the beginning, and then I have some like crazy shit. I'd be like, oh, look at you. You did something there. And I don't feel like and then obviously you want to keep the questions going, because if it's at a standstill, you're like, okay, what do I need to say now? But yeah. So
I want to point out one thing that you said before. I'm sorry.
Okay.
So when you were giving the example about like when people ask that question, what people are looking for, and you were saying that you believe that men are looking for like emotional things like peace and whatnot, but you feel like when women ask that question, they're looking for financial.
I don't want to say women are just looking for financial. I'm saying I've heard men interpret it like that. I don't really just necessarily believe that's all women. I'm not looking for that. So you know what I'm saying? But I have heard men interpret it like that's all they want. That's
when they ask that question, or just in general.
Yeah. Like, okay. Can you provide?
You think that women should be asking that question? Because we seem to be on the same page about like niggas asking and being like, chill out. Do you feel like women should be asking?
I ain't gotta ask.
Yeah.
I don't have to ask either, because I feel like I'm gonna see it.
Right. Okay.
I'm gonna see your effort. I'm gonna see what you're willing to I'm going to see what you're going to bring to the table. I don't have to ask about it. And you're right. That is really a lazy way of trying to get to know somebody, to just ask those. And then I also feel like when you do ask those questions, you're thinking in your mind, how is this going to benefit me? Let me see what all they can do. And then once you pitch that to them, they expect, if they, are going to continue, they expect for you to maintain whatever you said.
Yeah.
And so that, you know what I mean? That expectation is like held over your head. If you said, yeah, I'll cook 5 nights a week. And then, and then sometimes then you mess around and give it the person.
It shouldn't be, because what the conversation, it sounds to me, when anybody asks anything like that, it's like, oh, this is what I would do for the right partner. This is what I would do for da 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 da. So for somebody then to be like, okay, that's what I expect. It's like, oh, but are you doing what you need to receive that? Like I said that that's what I bring to the table, but I didn't say I was bringing that to this table. Like what? Where are we right? Where are we right now?
That is really, really important, because there are so many people that just expect. They just expect you to do certain things, because if they fuck with you, they just expect that from you. Mm-hmm. And then I feel like after all that expecting, then it's not appreciated, because that's just something that you expect. You think all women should be doing this thing, and it's easy. So, and when you set that expectation like that, instead of being appreciative that somebody is doing X, Y, and Z, or hopefully making your life easier, that's one of the things. And where I'm saying, like, that's something you bring to the table. Now, we're being clear. You don't ask people what they bring to the table, but we're just saying things that we do bring. If you would just take the time to get to know somebody and see, you would get to see that those are the qualities that they're going to bring.
So I know you and I had this a mini conversation about this, and we weren't sure if we were going to do a separate episode with it, or we were going to try to weave it in, but it feels like a very natural space to start talking about how people invest in dating at that point, because it's like, yes, for the right investment, my nigga, you can get like you can get the premium package.
What investment are you looking for?
But see, that's not necessarily financial, right? I'm looking for effort. I'm looking for time. And I mean, some of that does involve money, but that's like really not neither here nor there, right? It's like, you can take me to somewhere really nice, or you can plan a picnic.
You gotta say the financial, because some people date and they shouldn't be. And what I mean by that is, if you can't,
I know what you mean.
Okay.
No, tell the people what you mean.
If you ask somebody out on a date and you being cheap, like, we just gonna get drinks. We ain't gonna get no food. We just gonna get drinks. Or little bullshit like that.
Right.
And it's like, I don't think you're ready for this. Maybe you need one of those bitches to where you can pull up outside.
Right.
You need one of them.
I told you, remember the quote that I had on my dating profile, where I was like, if you don't have the time and money to invest in dating, then you should be focused elsewhere, like on a career or something, right? Like that's what you should be focused on. So if you don't have that time and effort and the finances to be able to date, then don't. but don't expect me to like lower my standards. We have a mutual friend who that's what a guy told her, like he was gonna just take her out for drinks. So she was like, this is a place where I wanted to go, period. So I'm gonna go and I'm gonna enjoy that dinner and I'm happy to pay like my own shit or whatever. But I don't need your company at this point. Like again, we are people who we have our party going on, nigga. Like you're an addition. You are adding to whatever we have going on. Now, don't tell me that you're not gonna go to dinner. You just want to have drinks. Like, what sense does that make? You want me to drink on an empty stomach? You don't even give a fuck about me.
You already don't give a damn about
you. Already don't care. You want me to drink and then drive home? Like, what are we doing? Oh, let me guess.
No, he does not want you to drive home. Fuck.
Right. So it's like
you're supposed to be going over his house afterwards, basically.
Doesn't make sense. But my point about the finances was that I'm not looking for somebody necessarily who has to ball out, right? Because that's what they think. There's like, oh, you're a gold digger, da da da. And it's like, no, nigga, it's not that. I want somebody to meet me or exceed me. Like, that's what I'm saying. I was like, but on top of that, you can also just put in the effort, which a lot of niggas don't do. So even if you didn't want to blow some money or whatever, find a cute little, you want to drink so bad, find a cute little black-owned soiree coffee bar shop or whatever.
Look at you giving, dropping this tea for them.
Yeah. Trying to tell the people. So it's like, it don't take that. We in Dallas, they have free jazz in the parks all the fucking time throughout the summer. And it's like,
it's the lack of effort. It's not going to, you have to actually put some effort into it, do some research, Google, works wonders and shit like that.
And it's like, why would I do that? Why would I put so much effort into you? That's when it becomes, so what do you
do? That shit right there.
Doing? And it's like, what you want me to do? You want me to court you too, nigga?
And then at that,
you want me to open your door and hold your hand, nigga?
See?
What you want? What do you need?
And then they don't want you to be too dominant.
Oh yeah. Hurt a nigga feelings.
But you got me doing shit that I would have expected you to do. So once I am in that role at that point, I'm going to act accordingly. You put me in that role. Like, you know what I'm saying? So what would you do if you went on a date? You know it's going to be some bullshit because I seen it.
I don't like it already.
Bitch, I seen it on Instagram and I said, I didn't know how to feel about it. But what are you doing? First date, this nigga forget his wallet.
Oh. If he I feel like you could tell when if something fucks up, right?
I don't know, bitch. You don't know this nigga. Let's be clear. You can't. You trying to do the if ands and buts over there talking. Well, if he genuinely forgot, if I really believe.
No. So you're right. First of all, like when you say you don't know a nigga, but also I feel like I do a good job vetting motherfuckers before a date. Like and this is me saying this.
I can't wait.
Hold on. This is me saying this thinking about online dating, but going back to like figuring, like meeting people in person and then just like exchanging or whatever and just be like, oh, like I'm gonna meet you like next weekend or something or whatever. And somebody says they forgot their wallet. I'm not gonna be bitchy about it. Like I'll be like, okay, cool. And I'll pay for it. But that's your one-off. You can't do shit else motherfucking wrong in my eyes at that point. Cause you do one then it's over. Cause that was all that
would you ever think a motherfucker trying to get over? For real. Because the impression I got when I had seen that example, bro, is she felt like, is this nigga finna run off? Like I really just paid for a date, this nigga finna run off. Like, you know what I'm saying? You wouldn't never really feel
unfair.
Like that.
I think that's no, I wouldn't think no shit like that. But that's also because I'm not a bitch like that. I mean, because then think of a nigga on the other side of that who always pays for a date, and it's like, am I gonna see this bitch again? Am I gonna get ghosted? I don't trip about no shit like that.
But you just said it's an investment.
Yeah. So if it's like, oh, you forgot your wallet or whatever, I better get a whole bunch of motherfucking apologies. But you want to know what else? And this is just me saying this, right? This is not. I've had this happen to me on a date.
I can't wait to bring up the example that I know that happened to you, but go ahead.
Yeah. So I had this happen to me before, but the nigga cash apped me. Like he was like, I'm a cash app you. He was like, it's nothing or whatever. He's like, but I legitimately did forget my wallet. And so when he was just like, I'm a cash app you, then it was what it was.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember when we were younger, you went out on a date. Your ass is crazy. You went on a date with somebody, and I guess that nigga was trying to do some Dutch shit, and you called another nigga up there to pay for it.
I was living in St. Louis. Yeah.
What's wrong with you?
Because, damn, I've done that a couple times. I know exactly who the fuck you are.
Do you know? Do you know who I'm talking about?
Bitch.
We ain't saying no names.
Let me tell you something.
That was not in St. Louis.
You are right. You are right. I remember doing that shit in St. Louis too, though. But
this is the thing for you.
This was a nigga who was trying to go Dutch, and I was like, "Oh, you thought that was gonna happen, baby? It technically is Dutch, but I'm not coming out of pocket." But that was me being a bitch on purpose. I be trying to be better than motherfuckers now. I was just, I forget the shit that I've done in my life. And I said this because I was talking to my little boo last night. And I was like, yeah, like I was like, I don't tell good stories. And I ended up saying something. She was like, dude, like that's a whole story. She was like, you be living these fucking lives that you don't remember that it's entertaining. Don't. But yeah, I did call that nigga up because that was
why you do that, man? Why you do that?
I was trying to make the other nigga feel like a bitch ass nigga.
For not paying for your food.
For not paying for my shit, yeah.
Why so angry?
Bro, that's how I grew up.
Nah, don't. Product environment. Don't.
Bro, you didn't know me since middle school. You know how I've rocked. And so, like, that wasn't a surprising.
I'm sorry, bitch. You've been ruthless. Like, you ain't.
I'm a lot better now. I'm a lot nicer to these niggas now. But yeah, back then, definitely called a nigga up and was like, thank you.
And how is the other dude looking when another dude walk in and pay?
Devastated.
I mean, what is he doing?
Yeah.
You ain't got it, bro. I got it, bro. You ain't got it. You ain't got $10. I got it.
Hey, this nigga you going down with?
I would never talk to you again if I was that nigga. Like, this bitch just called.
You know he was still trying to talk. It was like, I ain't got nothing to talk to you about. You just told you. I took my time out of my busy schedule to chit chat and eat with you, and then you tried to throw on me that we're gonna do Dutch or whatever. You could have told me that from the jump. You should have set my expectations.
I wouldn't even.
I was like, but now that you on some, I don't even know. It felt like a power trip or some shit that nigga was on. We was like, yeah, we just gonna do Dutch. It's like, okay, I'm not paying. But we can definitely split this bill in half. But let me show you something.
What type of nigga are you to sit there and wait for the other nigga to show up to pay?
He didn't know. He didn't know until the nigga popped up. And he say a motherfucker.
These niggas on deck to pop up.
Hey.
Yeah,
I was poly before I was poly.
I always believed in this shit.
Oh,
it's always been in me, not on me. Head ass.
It's in me, not on me. Hey.
Girl, that shit devastating.
Bro, that's why I keep you around to remind me of this shit. Cause I be like, I feel like I didn't grown. I can't remember, but I feel like I didn't grown. I feel like I'm sparing you niggas. That's how I be feeling in my heart, but I don't always remember how I be sparing.
I ain't gonna lie, bitch. I feel like over time I done kind of got a little bit mean with it. Like
you didn't got a lot of words. You used to be so nice to these niggas. It's like we flip. You used to be nice to niggas, and now you just on some fuck niggas. And I'd be like,
I don't want to be like that, but I don't feel like playing. Like,
and you shouldn't.
I don't feel like playing. I already told you the other night. I'd be like, red flag. On the phone, red flag. I don't like it.
Throwing them hoes, snatching them hoes.
You a boss. What? You ain't patient. No kids. Baby, let's end this right now. Sorry, right. Baby. I don't even mean to waste your time. And I sure don't want you to waste mine. So let me but then try to back up and be like, you got so much potential. Bitch, I know what I got. You ain't got to tell me what I got. That's why you talking to me. Like, you obviously seen that already. You ain't got to do that.
So many folks think they be doing you a favor, and I'd be
You
like,
ain't doing me no favors. And I always tell you how I feel like, bro, I always say this because I feel like, you know, when you a little bigger, bro, they be think you got low self-esteem, or bitch ain't ugly over here, nigga. It ain't ugly. Okay. Stop
never
playing
been.
with me.
Ain't never been.
Oh man. Okay. So we pretty much got down to the nitty-gritty. Like, don't ask that fucking question. Like, take your time, get to know somebody. And because when you ask that question, it sounds like your love is about to be conditional. Your interest is going to be conditional. It's going to be based off of whatever somebody pitched to you, and you're going to expect that. Like, I ain't selling myself. Like, that's not what's going on here, sir. Like, and I feel like as a man too, like, women shouldn't even be asking that shit either. Like, you gonna see what type of man that you gonna see their character.
Right.
You gonna see how they.
So I feel that way on both sides. Like,
yeah,
you can be asking that.
I have to make that clear, bro, because you know we can go a little hard sometimes, but we not gonna be biased about the shit. Like,
right.
we not gonna do that. Like, we could see both ends of the spectrum or whatever. Like, but as far as, I mean, I've heard shit like a woman gaining. I guess niggas be tripping about that financial shit. I don't know. Like, you looking for a man to take care of you. I'm like, y'all be looking at the wrong.
Yeah, but then when you turn around and be like, actually, I don't need that. Actually, I got my own shit or whatever. Then it's like, oh, well, now you too.
Well, let Kevin Samuels come along. Nobody gives a fuck what you got of your own. You just got to be pretty.
Is that what he said? I wish that shit was true.
Ma'am, how much do you weigh? Ma'am, how much do you make? What else did he be saying? Bullshit.
But he basically said it didn't matter how much women make, because he was like, that's not what men are looking for.
You want to look for something.
How about we don't quote that?
Yeah, we gonna throw him off to the side because he ain't worth shit or whatever. But anyway, so we are going to come up with some shit every week that's gonna be dealing with either relationships, sexual relationships, friendships. We won't throw that in there. You know, we like to keep it spicy, but we could do a little something with the friendships, since we sound like
that's the relations part. This season is relations and relationships.
You want to sing it so bad. Sing it. You want to say it so bad.
They just want relations. They don't want relationships. Welcome to the real world. It ain't the same. Niggas old enough to be your daddy, know your name.
Hey.
Girl, that was my shit.
Get that nigga.
We be walking around the places that we used to walk around. That's how niggas was.
Man, that's really what it was. He was right about
that. Was like life. Listen, Mr. Life J. They always want relations, okay?
That's it. I ain't no relationship.
In college, in grad school, at work.
Relations.
Like, that part never changes.
Never did. Ever.
Right. Now, what they're willing to do for it now is a little bit.
Yay. What you willing?
That used to be the conversation I had with my mama, because she'd be like, why you dating this? Da, 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 da. Used to be mad. I'd be like, Ma, all these niggas want to fuck. Like, what are we talking about? You telling me that this older gentleman just wants to fuck? I was like, what you think? I almost said a name, bitch. I was like, what you think these high school niggas want? What do these college niggas want? Everybody want pussy.
Everybody. I mean, that's what it's gonna lead up.
Can I trade in a rave movie theater date for like a fucking for a fucking Papa Do's in college? That shit was impressive. So I was like, rave or the fuck. It's like, damn.
Ain't that crazy? The shit that used to impress you that does not impress you anymore is the older that you get. You're like, huh? That's not gonna work. That's not gonna work out anymore. You so stupid. Can I
used
switch
to
out a
do.
rave day for Papa Do's?
Everybody used to be at the rave. Now don't act like we don't. They
Yeah.
shit used to be popping.
Is
But I'm like, all these niggas just want pussy mom. What are we talking about?
man, every single one of them. I mean, they know what the fuck is going.
Unless we forget, I want dick. So
we have a mutual understanding here, Mom. Like, be cool. You've been out here in these streets before, Mama. You know how this shit go. Like, you know what we looking for. You know what we want. Stop playing.
She was like, those rules don't apply to my daughter. And I'm like, Ma, I've been dressing like this. What you thought?
Always. All your life. Always.
Girl.
And and I ain't never gonna be on that level. I'm gonna always be like this. I'm be rooting for you in the back. Always, bitch. But always, yes.
Oh, silly.
So she should be surprised.
She ain't no more.
Probably had that initial shock, like, oh,
right.
Jesus. What if I created a monster? A fucking monster. Fuck. Oh my God, you my bitch. Anyway, well, that wine taste, is that really wine?
It's not wine, girl. That's vodka and cranberry.
What happened to the easygoing, relaxing?
I'm going to a liquor store tomorrow to re-up. Yeah.
Wine, right? But you need a relaxing drink. You trying to get lit? That ain't till tomorrow.
I feel a lot litter than I should be. So, you know, a little edible gonna break me down when we get done.
I'm done. Not edible. Oh shit. Okay, well, for real though, you guys, we really, really appreciate you guys tuning in to the Aggressive Beauty Podcast. We got so much shit coming up, y'all. It's gonna be funny as fuck. It's gonna be entertaining, y'all. It's gonna be real. Most of all, it's gonna be real. Because we all know just a little background as far as why this is even called the Aggressive Beauty Podcast. Because, you know, I have always had people say that to me as far as like, you're just too aggressive, you know, and I feel like, dang, when I'm not, sometimes I feel like I get ran the fuck over. I can't let that shit just go like that. I can still keep it cute. I can still keep it cordial and all that, but I'm still going to be upfront. I'm going to be blunt and I'm going to let you know, like, a bitch not going for X, Y, and Z. Like, and if that's too aggressive for you or if that's too much for you, then I'm going to keep that. Like, that's fine with me. Because at the end of the day, I have to be comfortable with me. You know what I'm saying?
Themselves out that way. So if they're not comfortable with it, it's like, oh, okay, so you ain't gonna be able to handle me moving forward either. So we can just snip this in the bud.
And I don't want to, and I feel like oftentimes that aggressive shit is they're thinking like maybe, okay, she's arguing a lot. She's, you know, that type of shit. That is not where this is coming from. That is like basically setting your boundaries.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So it's not like motherfuckers trying to argue all the time, act ignorant, nothing like that. Now, don't get it twisted, I will. But, you know, I will. But that's not initially where I want to come from. That's not where I want my energy to lie all the time. I want to be cool, calm, and relaxed. Just don't bring that other side out to where I have to do that because I feel like you might be taking advantage of trying to run over, you know, anything. And that could be within your career, your personal life, your friendships, relationships. Like it's important to kind of like stand your ground. So it's not coming from anywhere negative. So just a little background in case you guys haven't tuned in with all the other episodes, because I do try to kind of break some things down. So that way you kind of know, you know, we're going to follow up with controversial.
It's 11 o'clock at night. It's all good, friend. If they don't know, they know.
Okay. You guys know. I'm sorry.
Don't be apologizing to these niggas.
But yeah, like we gonna come with it, y'all. So, and if you want to absolutely follow us on Instagram, Aggressive Beauty Podcast. So follow us on Instagram, my personal page, One Bonita Chica. You do have to request. I apologize. We're on a request basis right now. Sorry for the personal page, but absolutely tune in on Instagram at aggressive beauty _. Have a lot of content on there. You can also inbox me at any time, throw topics out there, your opinions out there, because we're going to put it out there. We're going to address it and it's going to be lit. And are you willing to give your information or are you incognito? I was just...
I mean, they would have to request my shit too. I'm not a big social media person, but you're welcome to follow if you like at Solitary Flower 08, all lowercase. Capitalizations don't matter in Instagram, but it felt necessary to say.
I mean, after seeing what I seen, I'm gonna follow that. But since y'all out there like that.
Is that how I'm out there?
Hey.
Casual lounge set.
Is that what that is? Yeah. Oh, also, you guys, obviously we're doing videos, so we are on YouTube now. So, hey. So I'm definitely going to include the link on the Aggressive Beauty _ Instagram page. That way you guys can tune in. And it's not just going to be podcast videos. I'm actually going to be way more interactive and do some solo videos in between time. It's going to be a 10 episode season. So you guys have a lot to look forward to. We're going to do the damn thing. So yeah, always keep in mind, beauty is pain and so is the truth. See you guys next time.